Joe talks about Joe. And now, your host, Joe Slepsky.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Joe on Joe. It's me, your host, Joe Slepsky, and you're here because you heard the call. You heard us say we're talking about G.I. Joe Renegades. And I know our guest today heard that call. It's returning friend of the show, Ryan Kulik. Ryan, welcome back to Joe on Joe Renegade Edition.
This is like going to the Oscars for me. This is what I've always been waiting for. To you talk about Renegades, and I get to talk about it because I think for the last 15 years or so, I bring it up every few months to my wife, and her eyes glass over, and I'm like, okay, I got to talk to somebody about it. Love this show, love it, absolutely.
Listeners, if you're new to the show, this show started as and predominantly was a watch along podcast where we watch episodes of the old cartoons and we want you to hit play when we hit play and all that stuff. And then we finished those, then we changed to doing the comic books and stuff. And the goal is always to get back to these remnant shows, Renegades and Retaliation, etc. So that's what you're tuning into now. So if you go back into the back catalog of Joe on Joe, you'll find episodes like this for all the other episodes of the cartoon. And current listeners, regular listeners, if you want to talk about Renegades, if you were like, man, I wasn't even around when the old show was on, I want to talk about my version of the show, which is what Ryan did, you can reach out to me at joeonjoepod@gmail.com or send me a DM or social media, whatever, to at joeonjoepod. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And let me know you're interested in getting on the show because it's real easy. We just call in with Zoom and we get to watch an episode together like Ryan and I are going to do. So Ryan, what was it about why Renegades? When because we're the same age.
Yes.
So this hit a little bit older, this like our mid 30s. What about Renegades that spoke to you that struck this this passion?
Well, I didn't see it. I saw it, I remember, on Netflix. Netflix in its early streaming days had all the old G.I. Joe cartoons on. And I have a son who was born in 2010. So having no idea how to deal with a kid or anything like that, when I had to hold him when he was crying or he had to go to sleep or something, I would sit in his room and I'd watch the old G.I. Joe cartoons. And I'd see this G.I. Joe Renegades. Now, I had not, until you a few years ago introduced me to Extreme. I'd never seen Extreme. I was done once the original cartoon was off the air. That was it. I didn't even really watch the DIC ones, which you hold those scars, so we'll give you a medal one day. But I was out of G.I. Joe for decades. I just reconnected to the original show, and I saw this Renegades, and I'm like, you know what? I'll check this out. And people already know I love it. I thought it was, first off, I think the people that made the show really loved these characters, really loved
Yes.
the kind of what G.I. Joe was, and made it for, I know it was on the Hub or something like that. But
yeah, it was. Yeah, that was it.
They made it probably to get a new audience, except, I mean, Hawk General Abernathy's voice is Lee Majors or something like that. But I enjoyed it, and I thought the way they told the stories was great. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I would tell people about it, and they're like, yeah, who cares? And as you'll probably go through, once you get to the last one, we never got a second season. But I think this one season really encapsulates the show really well. And I don't want to give too much away, obviously, for people who haven't seen it, but it tells a nice, complete story. And so every now and then, when I was looking for something to rewatch, I'd pop Renegades in. I'm not going to take up too much of yours or the audience's time, but I'm a big believer in physical media, like a huge believer. And
yeah, for sure. And yes, take up our time.
Yeah,
I'm a huge believer in physical media as well.
This was a big deal to me. I made sure I got Renegades, so whenever I wanted to watch it, I could pop it in and watch it. And I hadn't seen it in a few years, and you brought it up. I'm like, oh yeah. And so last night I blew through 5 episodes. So while we were
awesome,
awesome, watched this, but again, it's a good. They're each like 20 to 25 minutes long, and I just really, it's one of those GI Joe things I try to carry the flag for. And I'm also a big believer in not letting people forget shows. There's a TV show that was on IFC called Documentary Now that I like tell everybody.
Oh, I love Documentary Now. Yeah.
This Renegades was like that to me. It's like, look, if you like G.I. Joe, you got to check this out.
That's that's absolutely fantastic. I mean, I agree with you. I agree this was a really well done action adventure show. Like solid. Absolutely. Start so far what I've watched of it solid. So thank you, Jordan, if you're listening, for being our first guest on the show to get me to do this. You talked real quick, you talked about Lee Majors.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I just finally started watching $6 Million Man, which was a show that I was saying I never watched since I was a kid. So yeah, Lee Majors is General Hawk. Brian Bloom, who was big, he was a 90210 guy,
Yeah,
right? Wasn't he on 90210?
I think so.
He's Zartan. Clancy Brown, the amazing Clancy
Yes.
Brown, he's Destro. Kari Payton, who would go on to be um Ezekiel on Walking Dead, the guy with the tiger.
Yeah.
He's Ripcord. Um,
I know Jennifer Hale, who's the lady Commander Shepard in Mass Effect. She does
uh-huh.
a voice later on, but yeah, I know she's
Jason Marsden, who I believe is
yeah,
James Marsden's brother. I believe he's the voice. Um, and let's see.
he's Duke, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Jennifer Hale. So like there's oh well, of course, Keone Young, of course, returns.
Hmm.
Um, and he's the hard master. We haven't got to him yet.
No.
But like there's some solid names. And Danica McKellar did a voice on the
Yeah.
show. Phil Lamar shows up. He plays Doc. Um, man, if I was watching. Jerry O'Connell shows up as
Yeah.
barbecue.
I forgot
Michael
about that
Emerson
show.
shows up as a voice. Like these are all real names, especially at that time that were doing some good stuff. Michael Emerson in this era was hot on Lost, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah. Then he did
Um,
the person of interest like right after it. So yeah.
yeah. Like there's some real names. So that's really fun to see and hear. Um, there's even a little bit about this episode that we're going to watch. It's episode 2, listeners, in case you want to get your DVDs queued up or get your web players queued up. We're watching episode 2. There's something about this episode that really feels also like a throwback to an old episode of GI Joe. Where it's I mean the older episodes are a little more silly, a little more funny, a little more comical characterizations, but this one is very much like that one was, where hey, we're hitting a town with some kind of biochemical weapon,
Mhm.
or we're throwing giant seeds that sprout into giant into giant fruits and vegetables that take over a whole town. And what happens in this show is the bio viper, while it's part 2 of a continuing saga and it's a real menace, but it's basically a giant organism gets loosed on a farm community and starts eating everybody,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
Joes have to stop it. Like
Right.
it's
Those
the
have to
same.
stop it. Cobra has no control over it. And then you get
Yeah. And you
internal
get it.
Cobra bickering and all that good
Yep.
stuff.
There's a little bit of comic relief with Mindbender, but it's not played slap happy. It's not played like silly like the old show would have done, which I really appreciate both ways. And but it is the Joes dealing with this crisis that's attacking this town, but you just have this continuing DNA throughout it that's more of an ongoing saga than the other ones were just one and done. So you don't wrap it up at the end and you're like, all right, we're back to normal, yo Joe. It's more of like, all right, well, now we're on the run, let's go.
And I will, like, again, as people go through it, this is the second part of the premiere, but it's still its own little episode. It's still its own. I mean, the show obviously is serialized, but there's a few two-parters during it. But a lot of these are like the old cartoon. There's a problem the Joes have to
Yeah.
solve, and have to get out of, and Cobra does something, and then the Joes get out of it. And I like that. I like that kind of
Hmm.
comfort that you get with the show.
Well, talking about physical media, we talk about, the show, we're always talking about comic books on the show, and I'm old head, get off my lawn. And that's what's missing from modern comic books is the sense of pick up one issue and enjoy this issue as it is. You don't always have to be in the middle of a 6-parter, or a 4-parter or a 5-parter. Sometimes in 22 pages, you can have an adventure. And so this, even though it is a 2-parter, it definitely is a contained, we have to stop this BioViper adventure, which I think is really necessary to keep people interested. Because if you show it to 100 people, 50 of them aren't going to care.
Yeah.
40 of them are going to enjoy that one single episode. And then 30 of them are going to enjoy it enough to come back. But those 40 that enjoyed the single episode are still going to go, oh, it may not be for me every week, but I still enjoyed it. And they're going to walk away with a good thing. Versus if everything is a ongoing serialization, which was a just as a it's kind of a it's a little bit of a scourge of
well, it's
modern
yeah,
entertainment, I think.
it's
Yeah,
where we
modern.
are. My
Yeah,
wife
it is
and I
where we
like
are.
yeah, my wife and I like to watch a lot of TV together, but I'll admit I haven't watched Severance, and she went on and watched it without me, and I
Hmm.
will maybe get back to it one day. But it's like I told her, and I have a brother that I podcast with. There's so much I want to watch that I know if I'm going to sit down, like as of right now, I'm watching Peacemaker and Alien Earth. I just have enough time
Hmm.
for those. And then I'll get
Yeah,
to the other stuff. But you're losing a lot of it because, again, I can't just pop in for an episode. I understand what
right.
you mean. And look, I think there's incredible storytelling going on, but I'm I just don't have that time to dedicate to all of it right now. And hopefully I'll
So I
catch.
want to get back. I want to get back to the podcast you're talking about with your brother real quick. But I am, yeah. Let's talk about that real briefly. Yeah. So the first episode, I love Peacemaker. I loved Superman. I love James Gunn. Super. Like I'm a fan. I enjoy his work 100%. This is not that kind of a complaint. This season of Peacemaker is so retrospective and looking back on what they did in the first season of Peacemaker. There is nothing being pushed forward. It's yes, he has this choice of going to this other dimension, but there's no week to week adventure problem solving
Oh,
that's keeping you engaged. So all it feels is like you're dragging me out. So like when we get to episode 4, you should have been at that point by the end of episode 2, you know?
right. Oh, I
Uh,
agree. I
yeah,
100.
none of the supporting cast on that show this season, none of them have a driving mission. None of them. They're all in reflection of the effects of the first season, and that is a cardinal sin for me as a viewer of like we we don't we need to move. It always screams to me of like the creatives being afraid to do something new because they're like, hey, we cracked it the first season, everyone loved it, so let's not rock the boat.
No, it's funny you say that because that's how I felt. I know Alien Earth has been getting a little bit I don't want to say blowback in one way, but I like it because it's telling a familiar story in a different
Oh,
way. And it's what
we yeah, I got thoughts on Alien Earth too. I like Alien Earth.
yeah.
I really like a lot what they're doing with Alien Earth.
But I know
It's
there's a
very
yes,
slow to start, very
yes.
slow to start. Like, but they were smart though. That first when they dropped that first, was it 2 or 3 episodes they dropped? I think it was 2.
I just started watching like a
Yeah,
week ago, so I'm pretty yeah.
they knew that first episode was really really slow, and
Mhm.
so they gave you 2 episodes to start. So you at no point in time did you ever were you ever going like, you know, you were never sitting there with just one slow episode. You always had 2 to start with. And once you get past that initial setup, which was a lot, but it's gotten better and better every week. Like that episode, I think it was episode 5, the one that was a recreation of the movie Alien, like it was his version of Alien. Ooh.
I'm not there yet, but I know what you're talking
Oh, okay.
about.
I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
no spoilers on it, but yeah, it's awesome. It basically Noah Hawley has an opportunity in 1 hour to do his version of 1979 Alien, and
And again, I
it's
think that those are great. And I do
awesome.
like with the
Yeah.
Peacemaker thing, a show that I mean, I don't know anybody that watches except my wife and I on Apple for All Mankind kind of
Hmm.
reimagines the space race. Like, what if the Russians landed on the moon first? And
Yeah.
it's up in its fifth season's coming up soon, and it jumps like 10 years. And it's a very interesting show to watch. And the first 2 seasons of that, I think, are just dynamite. But then it's by the third season, the characters just keep recycling backwards. And I felt,
Right.
man, I'm like, I told you off mic, I started to rewatch the Ron Moore Battlestar Galactica, and
Hmm.
it was I don't want to spoil for anybody that hasn't seen a 25-year-old show, but the last season of that show really made a lot of people mad, including myself, because there's characters who are absolutely heroic and have incredible arcs in the first 2 seasons that just turn heel. And I'm
Yeah.
speaking of Peacemaker and John Cena. It's look, I understand in wrestling when two dudes turn heel or something like that, but on a show where you establish these hero things, and I felt like Peacemaker was okay, fine. Their lives are all worse now when they essentially save the world. And I'm like, yeah, but hey, you're still going to get me to tune in. I will say.
Yeah, I'm definitely tuning in still. I'm not, they haven't lost me yet. It's just yeah, they just, there's, they just, they needed, it feels like, and I know not to not to read too
Mhm.
much into their production process because I have no idea. It's not like I have insider info. But what they've said that their original vision for the season 2 changed, right? Like they were ready to do one thing and then they decided to do this other thing with this alternate dimension stuff. And I feel like it needed to bake in the oven a little bit more as far as from a beat, like for as the action, the plot of it.
Yeah.
They have great characterization. I know TV, TV and entertainment, it's characters, all that stuff, but you still need them to be actively doing something, striving towards a goal, and none of them are doing that this time. The
No, and
goal is trying to somehow trap Peacemaker,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
he's right there. Go get him. I'm like, it's not like he's hiding out. It's weird. It's really weird.
and I mean, I do have to look. I would not be on your show, Joe, if I wasn't going to talk about Star Wars. But
Oh yeah,
I mean, to me personally, what they did with Andor this season, I
so
saw
good.
I saw a joke where somebody said, for all of us that were mad about the Phantom Menace and all the Senate stuff, we all just sat and watched an entire show about a senator getting divorced. And
Oh yeah.
it's but just how they crafted it and how they pulled it all together.
Hmm.
I'm like, this is masterful. This is an absolute masterpiece because I know a complaint about the more modern Star Wars is it seems to forget everything that happened before. And here they're telling this again, I was without spoilers, I was telling somebody there's a moment in that show where the senator who is masterminding all this stuff, but she's sitting in the comfort of the Capitol and all this stuff, sees an act of violence happen in front of her that's in her name, and she looks horrified. And I'm like,
Hmm.
it's the most real show that I've seen with a bunch of weirdo space dudes. And
Yeah.
and again, they're doing because they're telling this old story, but in a new and interesting way. Whereas the studio, which is a show I love, that was on Apple with Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet. Yeah.
It's just over the top though. That's all it is. It's like and it's fun. It's as fun as all get out, but I didn't walk away from the studio and grabbing random people on the street like I did with Andor and say you must
Yeah,
watch
and
this.
shows like the studio, I mean, that's telling a funny story.
Yeah.
Like, but a show like Andor and a show like Peacemaker, that like those rely on the MacGuffin of it. There's an element of MacGuffin that we've all been trained to appreciate. And Andor, the MacGuffin is, we know they're heading towards rebellion and they're trying to stop the Empire. And Andor just was wonderful, and it just took its time getting there. Like, I don't know what Peacemaker is striving for.
No.
It's 100% about the inner conflict, and that's not as exciting to watch on an action show. you know so I think that's, and this, hey, listen, you didn't tune into Joe and Ryan on Peacemaker. But what we are talking about, though, is honestly, is if you're still tuned in, is serialized action shows, and just this balance that they have to strike, because you don't want to just be all action. I think that's what you get a lot of the generic 80s cartoons where, you're I don't want to slam any, so I don't even name them Dino Riders. But like, I'm totally kidding. But like those 80s, those 80s action cartoons where it was just to get the toy in action or whatever, with
Wheeled
no
Warrior,
real, yeah,
Centurions, which
yeah, because you just
I
wanted to
hate to
show
go
it.
a totally different way, Joe. I'm sorry that I have to do this because of G.I. Joe
Yeah.
and the PSAs. Do you know about the Centurions PSA with the dog that has ESP?
Is that real, or is that
Yes.
a parody one?
No, no, no. It's real. I
No, what
encourage
is it?
people.
Describe it.
I came across. I don't. Everybody remembers the show Centurions that was in this.
Yeah. Oh, Centurions was awesome.
Yeah. Well, they all these shows like GI Joe and stuff had these PSAs, and I cannot remember where I heard this. I'm sorry for whoever I'm forgetting, but they talked about this PSA where you see the guy and he's got this like this Staten Island accent, and he's doing calls in front of a dog, and the dog's picking it, and he's like, some scientists think animals and humans may have ESP. We're not sure, but a lot of studies have to go on. And I'm not kidding you. It is done completely straight. And we make jokes about the GI Joe ones with Deep
Yeah.
Six coming out of the water while the kids hang in a pond, by the way,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the ocean, or the He-Man one where He-Man and She-Ra talk about the bad touch or things like that. But the
Whoa.
the Centurions one with ESP, I'm like, I must have watched this as a kid. It's
And
why. Sorry.
and
Sorry to go on
unless
that
you
tangent.
unless you think Ryan is kind of talking out of his kazoo, you'd be wrong because he is also the host of a great podcast called First Watch Rewatch. And Ryan, that is you and your brother?
Yeah, and sometimes my wife, I have a long podcast I've done for 10 years now, The Ex Millennial Man, which was
Yep.
and we still do it, but it's like Generation X and millennials talking about a topic. We've done G.I. Joe on it, and my brother, who is the millennial, knows nothing about it. But we started to do movies. And the first one we did, actually, and this was on the Ex Millennial Man, I don't know if you knew about this, but the Cleveland Browns in the late 80s made a series of movies that it was in response to the Super Bowl shuffle. So the Bears went out, did the Super Bowl shuffle, won the Super Bowl. Well, the
Hmm.
next year, the Cleveland Browns did this. It's like a 25-minute long movie called Champions of the Gridiron or something
A
like that.
movie.
Yeah.
I know other teams did musical
No.
videos.
This is a full-on movie. And it's like a Lord of the Rings type thing. Do you remember the dude he used to be on
What?
Carson a lot, Tiny Tim, who had the
Of course. I mean, of course,
yeah,
Tiny Tim.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
He plays
absolutely.
the bad guy, and
What?
I encourage. This is on YouTube, or go to First Watch Rewatch.
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah,
brother
yeah.
and I talk about it, but I showed him this Cleveland Browns video, and this was the year I think of the drive where the Denver Broncos made this huge drive to
Oh,
go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the Browns were good then, and then a year or two later, they did one called DT Dogtown, which is like an ET ripoff.
Oh my God.
It is there's supposedly other ones too. I've only ever been able to find these two. So that's how it started. My brother's I can't believe this stuff exists. And then kind of the curse that I hand to everybody else, there's a movie that I love. It's this musical from 1980 that takes place in the far off future of 1994 called
The Apple?
Yes. And
Oh, yeah.
I told my wife, you got to watch this movie. And we decided, let's record about it. Then I tell the story of the movie, what happened. And it just grew. We got a pretty good audience. We're on our 5th season right now. We do 6 to 8 episodes a season. I
Great.
will tease everybody here. I always do a Halloween one. And this year we're doing Life Force, which, if people don't remember, is an 80s canon film. Pretty well done. It's like a vampire space movie, but the movie's more known because the lead actress is topless almost the entire movie.
The entire movie, she's naked. It's also directed by Toby Hooper of
Yes,
Texas
it is.
Chainsaw Massacre
Yeah,
fame.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then last year, it wasn't for Halloween, but we did the movie Liquid Sky, which is a really experimental, weird film about aliens that their drug is people's orgasms. So it shoots darts into people's heads.
What?
Oh, this movie's crazy. So we've done some crazy ones, but on the other side, again, my brother is a millennial. He'd never seen Flash Gordon. He'd never seen Ridley Scott's Legend. He'd never seen Buckaroo Banzai. And I showed him those movies, and he's like, "This stuff's great." He's like, "Why aren't you showing me more of these movies?" So it's just kind of we do the 1st and 15th of every month, and about an hour long. Try to keep it that way. And I always find the Siskel and Ebert review of the movie if they do it, and
Hmm.
say 90% of the time those two got it right.
Well, listeners, check that out. First Watch Rewatch on any of your podcatchers. You're going to enjoy it. I want to see Liquid Sky now. I just looked it up on IMDb as you were chatting, and now
Yes.
that's going to be on my watch list. I
It
absolutely
is
love it.
it is again like the Apple. It's another one of those movies where I tell people you just got to see it. And it came out in 82, which is the same year that Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, E.T., The Thing, what else?
I
Blade
mean,
Runner. All
I
these movies
mean,
at the same time.
80s,
Then there's this Liquid Sky.
80s cocaine is undefeated.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely undefeated.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Um,
Hey,
all
but
right. Well,
thanks.
I think it's high time we jump into G.I. Joe Renegades.
Oh, I'm ready.
So this is episode 2. So listeners, if you've got your DVDs, get ready to call it up. I'll give you a little countdown before we go in. Ryan, you should it should sync with our video, and I'm excited. Your nickname we seem to recall is Brother Brimstone, your G.I. Joe
Yes.
code name.
Yeah, the
So
Cobra Televangelist.
yeah, so if in arrears somehow we're wrong with that, then we just redubbed you, Brother
That's
Brimstone.
all right. I was going to read from the book of Baroness about beware of quick kick of no shoes and no shirt, for he is a a vessel of the enemy, and but
Yeah,
I forgot my
no shoes, no shirt, all service. That's what we say about Quick Kick.
That's good.
Um, so there's a lot to like about this episode, listeners. So yeah, and we're watching the version of it that has like the it's like the DVD rip version. So it's the previously on and all that stuff as far as timing, Um, and there's no commercial breaks, so we're just gonna plow on through. So Ryan, are you oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is listeners, I have a huge technical setup now. So this is, if this works as it did previously, Ryan's gonna hear it at the same time I am. It's very, very exciting. All right, listeners, Joe here. Brief interlude. So first of all, I want to drop in this. We recorded this episode a couple months ago. I think you'll hear some dated references in there, and so we're just getting around to airing it, and that means, where was I last week? I was at Codename Iowa for the amazing Assembly Required G.I. Joe convention. I had such a wonderful time there. Me traveling with Mike Irizarry of the tremendous What's on Joe Mind podcast. If you're not familiar with them, I'm sure you are, but you need to go over there and say hi and give them a listen. Just tremendous. Mike is the mayor of Iowa and knows everybody, and what a wonderful ambassador to the scene. It was my first convention for G.I. Joe, to like going and meeting a lot of the really, really, really wonderful fellow Joe dudes, a lot of great podcasters, a lot of videocasters, wonderful vendors. G.I. Jason, we sat across from, amazing. I actually point you to last week's episode of What's on Joe Mind podcast. We gave a full breakdown. Mike did it much more thoroughly than I ever could. And I was a guest host on that episode. We talked all about it. It was such great fun. If you check out my Instagram at Joe on Joe Pod, you'll see some photos that I took. I was doing sketches and giving them out to people, and got to meet Ron Wagner of all people. It was amazing. And Phil Hester, and it was just really, really good. I bought some cool stuff. I didn't have a lot of room in my luggage, so that I was really limiting myself just to some loose figures and a handful of carded late era Joes. I'm a sucker for those. And I'm almost done with my Space Force, Space Command, Star Command figures. So really a great time. If you ever have the opportunity next year, if you're in somewhere in the Midwest or central United States area and you can get up to Iowa for that show, it's really awesome. Saw Michael Nye and his brother there. The Nye brothers are fantastic. Everything about it was a win-win. So I appreciate both Mike Irizarry from What's on Joe Mind, and also any and every one of you listeners that stopped by and said hello and said you listen to the show and all that stuff. I really, really tremendously appreciate every ear. So that brings me to the ear part of this conversation. I'm going to leave in the portion of the interview next where I talk about how technical my setup was, because I screwed up. And the rest of this interview with Ryan Kulik, as we talk over the movie, I only have one feed of it, and it's got the show audio 100% mixed in. I can't separate it. Normally, if you're familiar with the show, what I do is, I believe, for legit like copyright reasons, I drop out all the audio from the program, and then we drag it in some blank spots here and there to kind of give you an audio, like a little audio landscape, right? I think it's a much more enjoyable way to do a listen along. It kind of keeps you, the listener, up to where we're at in the show. Well, Joey screwed up. and I finished listening through it, the whole thing. It's not great, but I'm going to tell you though, I love Ryan so much. I love having him on as a guest so much. I didn't want to lose his thoughts because he's got such great thoughts on the show. You absolutely can hear what's going on, but you're getting a lot of the TV show clutter in it. So we do come back at the end and wrap up for about 10 minutes with his final thoughts on the subject and this episode and all that stuff. So if it's a pain in the ear and you don't want to listen to the whole episode, I am so sorry. And listen, I probably got some new listeners from Iowa. This is the first time you're hearing it. I am so sorry. This particular error is new to the show. I'm doing it. I'm recording it a little bit differently, this type of format of episode. So I had just too many signals crossed, and I thought I was hearing one thing and I wasn't. So that is a boo-boo. I did think about just doing a personal recording over it, and I don't want to get Ryan back on. We're gonna have Ryan back on for another episode of Renegades because he's a great guest. So Ryan, that is my promise. But I did think about just doing a re-record of all the audio. I'm like, I don't know what's worse, just hearing me talk to myself over an episode for 30 minutes, or getting a little background clutter in your ear. So, and listen, if you're listening and you're like, copyright strike this, I apologize. This is not intentional, but it's great content. Ryan's such a great guest. I think you'll all enjoy it. Pardon the ear clutter, we'll say. And then one more thing before we say 3, 2, 1 and hit go on this episode. Our After Action Report contest marches on. I was able to spend a lot of time with Greg and Josh from the After Action Report in Iowa as well. Those two are tremendous friends and really, really great people. Greg Augustin might be the happiest, like, smile, and frequent guest of the show, might be the smiliest person ever. Like, what a great dude. If you hear this, you can send me just send me another hello, Greg, because you're just such a smiling, friendly presence. And Josh, no one's more pro G.I. Joe than Josh. I mean, that's just the absolute truth. Josh Egbing. So I do have their After Action Report books for giveaways for you guys. So if you're listening and you want to enter, just shoot me an email to joeandjoepod@gmail.com. You can also DM me at any of the socials. But send me an email. Just put After Action Report contest in there, something like that in the subject line. I'll get it, and we'll get you some books because he gave me a lot, and I really want to give them away. So send me an email. We'll get you in the enter. And I thought there was something there. I thought I might have had some extra fun stuff to throw in there. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm thinking of some other fun contest dealing with their After Action Report guys. Make sure you do back their Kickstarter though. It went live the week of the Iowa show, and so as of this listening, I believe it's got like a week left. It did get fully funded, which is great to see. This is for their trivia book, so go to Kickstarter and give that a fund, and etc. So send me an email, get in the contest, win. And again, I apologize for the sound of this episode. And new listeners, I promise you, I am better than this. You can go back in the archives and listen to some clean audio watch-alongs. They exist. And I'll be back very shortly in the next few weeks with another episode. And you know what? I'm teasing right now. We're dropping a big holiday special, Christmas Eve. I nailed down the date. It is dropping Christmas Eve. Big Joe and Joe holiday special, scripted program. Get ready for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's it. It's live. It's out there. Now I'm committed to it. So appreciate you all. And we'll go back to the show with a little, you'll hear a 3, 2, 1. So get ready to drop that needle. Thanks a lot. So we're going to hit play on it. And here we go.
Previously on G.I. Joe Renegade.
This area is restricted. You're under
So we get a little previously on.
Open fire!
You can hear all this, Ryan? I just needed to double check my
Yeah.
technical setups here.
No, I'm
Might want to cover your ears, don't
So we get a refresher that
You acted without orders, Lieutenant.
General,
oh,
events
there's
set
new
up.
majors.
Till you can prove that, son.
That road
I
that
can't
I'm not
help you.
roadblock. Ripcord seemingly died in this issue.
Stay where you are.
And I will say, I remember watching this the first time, and I genuinely was kind of upset. I'm like, even though he's kind of an annoying character, I'm like, G.I. Joes don't die. Cobra misses them all the time. What's going on?
Yeah.
Springfield last night.
Now,
Viewers with
this
any information
came
that might
out
lead to the capture of the
after
suspects are urged to call the
the
number
movie?
shown on screen.
It came out after Rise of Cobra. I know.
Okay,
I think
yeah, the first
Send a report.
for
I need
retaliation.
you to make
Oh, right, because I remember
absolutely certain
watching
that
this
every
here, and I
friendly
remember
Cobra
seeing
Joe
Rise in
experiments
Chicago.
Has been destroyed.
So you know
About that.
Ripcord's not going to
I
die
think one of my chicks may have wandered
Yes.
from the nest.
because he's the lead of the
She was
movie.
saying a
I know
bioweapon
that.
survived the
Again, I don't know
explosion.
what it is. I
know.
find it weird the
Is that
characters they
fan
chose.
fantastic or
And
what?
Duke,
These
Scarlet,
things are
Snake
even more
Eyes,
kick-butt than I
obvious.
realized.
A roadblock,
I just
obvious.
put
But
all my
then
resources
Tunnel
into
Rat,
covering up their very
Ripcord,
existence.
and then I
Now
know
you
the
tell
Rise
me,
of Cobra
one
made
is running loose.
Marlon Wayans
Hello?
played him, I think.
I may
Yeah.
have created
So it was like
an
this time where they were really
unstoppable
trying to make
killing machine
Ripcord happen,
And that
which is
was
cool.
only
I have no
a
problem, but
test.
I just found
I
that
think some
interesting.
props are in order.
Well, I think the
Perhaps
biggest
I should
conundrum
alert
of
the
Ripcord
commander
in the movie
that your
was
killing
he was a
machine
pilot,
is going public
not
well
a guy who wants to
ahead
jump
of
out of
his
planes. He
schedule.
wants to fly the
Shutting
planes. So that's kind of funny.
Chatting wild, I press.
So we're opening here with quick follow-up from the previous episode, and the Baroness is talking to Mindbender, and this is a different version of Mindbender. This is a younger, he's got hair, he's not as shirtless.
Bro.
Yeah, very tech pro. He looks more like Dr. Venom
Yes.
than he does Dr. Mindbender. We also get the version of Baroness, so she's playing both sides, because later on she talks to Hawk, and you're like, oh yeah, she's faking being a good person and also being a Cobra bad person.
Yeah.
And Snake Eyes is operating kind of outside of the team.
That's
Where-
what I've always gotten the impression.
Yeah, because later on in this, the rest of the Joes are like, I don't like this guy. What's he doing here? And Scarlet's the only one that vouches for him.
And I do like, too, I mean, obviously, people, if you're listening to this, go listen to the first one. But Cobra's not the bad guy. Cobra's a large multinational corporation.
So they're the bad guy.
Right.
But you're right. Yeah, they've got a very public, normal face that is slowly destroying
Anybody like
America.
To say a few words about our fallen comrade?
So welcome to a documentary, everybody. Welcome to Joe on Joe. I hope everyone enjoyed reality.
I didn't really know Weems.
Um,
None of us did, I guess.
This is good because,
Actually,
spoiler alert, the
Actually,
good
found
guys are
kind
good.
of annoying.
Yes.
Basically the whole
Yes, and it's
nicknaming thing.
scripted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's good, man. It's all right.
I love Tunnel Rat on
Wallace
this show.
Williams gave
I think
his
it's
life
great.
to save
I love that
ours.
they have him resisting
make sure his sacrifice was not
the
in
nickname stuff.
Done? Good. I found Santa's sack in the spare tire well. And by Santa,
I did
mean
like
Mars
again when I first
Industries.
watched this. I remember the
We
very
need to
beginning of
find
this
out why
episode. They're
Cobra's involved with the
memorializing
world's largest
Ripcord, and I
arms
kept thinking,
manufacturer.
Scarlet,
he can't be
show
dead.
some respect.
It's Lieutenant O'Hara.
Now,
And we'll have time to mourn
you know,
Williams after
why-
we expose
why do you think
Cobra
he can't
and
be
clear
dead?
our names.
Just growing up with G.I. Joe, it's like, look, you guys are trying to sell poison. Why are you going to
Pick a
kill
sidearm
one of
and
your
let's
main
move.
characters?
Well, there is a level of Scarlet that she's like, let's
That's
get
an
back to
order,
business.
soldier.
You
don't
guys
get
can
it.
mourn all you want. We're
There's
still
no break
soldiers.
here anymore.
And technically, are
opportunity
they G.I. Joe
fugitives.
yet? They're not really G.I. Joe, I don't
No.
believe. They're just a group of dudes.
Right, they
Even
And
were.
fugitives
Scarlet.
need a leader.
That
How many
Scarlet
tours do
basically
you do?
conned them because I
How many
think
combat
early in
missions
this
do you led?
episode,
Don't
they
want to
still
take
don't
orders
know
from
that
me?
she's kind of
Fine.
on her
But
own.
our priority
Like,
is still
yeah,
the
Duke
mission.
thinks she's
There is
getting
no mission.
getting
Our priority
orders
is
from
the
General
men. That means
Abernathy.
food, water,
Mhm.
and medical treatment for your leg.
Whoa.
And Duke's trying to
Yeah,
take
not
over
to
in
break
a
up the love of
very,
spat, but I do have field medic
what do you
training.
call it? Like
I could wrestle up some
military rules way. You know,
Yeah,
like,
like,
this
yeah,
is the
they're
chain
on
of
the-
command.
You're on
Yeah,
the
before we go,
battlefield.
we have to take care of our wounded.
He liked to
Let's
record.
take care of your leg,
That's
and then we
what
can
we
go
did.
proceed with the
Wait.
mission. And
That's
Scarlet's
the last
like,
thing he said to me.
we got to get the job done. Screw the rules.
Have you found the hatch?
I got a
number?
ninja I can
Well,
count on.
Let's just
Like,
say
let's
I've
make this
narrowed
happen.
down its flight path to a 5
And I
mile
do know I had
radius.
another friend of mine who didn't like this version of
That's the good
Mindbender, and he's
news.
like, he's not as menacing as the original one. I go, the
bad news
original
is that
one wore a
radius is a
cod piece
backwards
and
verb called
suspenders
spring.
with no shirt. I'm like,
Put
come
the
on.
bird in a cage.
Well,
now.
there's something menacing
kind of
about
predator
that.
trying to
If you
There-
think
there
about
is.
it, like
There
a bare-chested,
These old analog
barrel-chested,
receivers still pick up
bald
space
man with a
signals.
weird
I know when
mustache
someone's speaking
and a
in code.
monocle
Congratulations,
Hey,
General
just the other day, I was
Abernathy.
at my
with a
local
cape
comic- Yes,
and a codpiece
I was at my local
and
comic
just
shop,
suspenders.
When they
Yes.
destroyed
That is
American
frightening.
They
Yes, it
released
is.
a
And I had
lethal
the
virus into
classified
the water supply.
Mindbender, and I'm like, I gotta have this.
Now we
Yes.
need to seal off Springfield.
Yes.
My best
General
intel
Hawk enters
specialist
the
is
chat,
leading the
and he's
manhunt for
talking to
these
Baroness
fugitives.
about this. Remember, Baroness
It
is
will bring
the
them to
public face
justice.
of Cobra.
Meantime, I'll
So to
mobilize a unit to
her,
assist
or
you with
him,
the evacuation.
it's
The military
Target
has
got
done
attacked.
enough damage,
You know, your
General.
local Walmart
Cobra
got
will
attacked.
handle this
The
themselves.
home offices are destroyed by your soldiers. What's going on? And we get introduced to Flint for the first time.
Yes.
I really like in this version, and they done in the comics a bit. I believe they're really doing that in the modern Energon version, where they treat Flint like this because he's special warrant officer.
Yeah, now they list him, I know, in the show, I think, as lieutenant.
Okay.
So he's an officer. But I guess warrant officer.
Well, yeah, but like he's always like he's his own man. You know, that's how he's been presented a few times in these iterations, where he's this special like not special forces, but
That should
his own
scare
unit
Hercules.
of
Now
jurisdiction.
retrieve your
And that's what we're
bioweapon.
getting here,
It's a
which is very
mindless
cool.
collection of bioengineered aggression and
And I
survival
do
instincts.
want to say I
You
do
can't
like
just
the
whistle
I've always
for it
liked the
like a
portrayal of
puppy.
the Baroness. They almost never do wrong, but how
I'm
she
sure
is
it'll
she is
come
in
running
control.
when it gets
Yeah.
hungry.
It has
Yeah.
knows all everything.
Well, not only is she the public face of Cobra to the normal people, but she's also the public face of Cobra to all the bad people too. So she's running Cobra to all the bad guys.
Oh,
And Cobra Commander is really still in the
Man, you ain't
shadows, which
lived
we get a
to
glimpse
taste my
of this
granny's wild
episode. But
mushroom caps
he's
too.
he's not out there screaming retreat and
ammonitors, they're
doing all that
poisonous.
stuff. He's having the Baroness do it
Trust
for
me,
him.
I spent a lot of
No,
time
and
in the dirt.
I know
This is this is great. Real quick, Roblox is gonna make a mushroom
Hope
stew,
those ain't for
and he's
dessert.
about to use
Don't
poisonous
be
mushrooms.
disgusting. They're for spy ladies like me.
And Tunnel Rat stops him,
Thanks, but
and
no
then proceeds
thanks,
to grab a
Tunnel
bunch of
Rat.
worms.
Again
That's
with
going to
the
give him
Tunnel
more
Rat.
protein.
I will say I do love
Snake
that
eyes.
I said earlier
Lower
the
your
people who made
weapons.
this show love G.I. Joe because
Uh-huh.
that is Tunnel
Biovital
Rat.
material,
And
isn't
you
it?
never
Where'd
hear
you find it?
Roadblock talk about being
nearby
a chef. You
Springfield.
just see him.
Hey!
They
Yes.
don't
Been
tell,
evacuated and
but
sealed off due
you
to
and
the
I, we
release of a
know
lethal
he's a
virus.
big time chef.
This is clearly
Mhm.
the work of the same
I love that
criminals who
Snake Eyes
destroyed our
stole
pharmaceutical plant.
Roadblock's
Rest
iPod
assured, Cobra will
Like,
assist any
in a
and all
flash as a ninja.
There were
Just
no
took
contagions
it,
in that lab.
which is
Cobra's
pretty
going
great.
through a whole lot of trouble to shut
They all
down the
drew their
town.
guns on Snake Eyes, so
Don't
that
tell me one
reminds
of
us
those
that they
things
don't
we
trust him
Bullseye
because they don't
blowed up
really
at
know him.
barbecue,
Scarlett's the
still
only one who did
walking
it.
around.
We need to warn the authorities.
Who will believe us?
If that
they're-
freak show is running loose, it's
We
partly
said this a
our
little
fault.
last episode. Their color
Won't allow
schemes are
more innocent lives to be
so
lost.
similar. They don't pop
Unlike
for me.
you, Scarlet.
But I
I've
think
got
they're really
inside
well
contact we
designed
can depend on.
costumes. Where do you stand on it?
It is. I was thinking about this that
Base
there's an
command.
episode.
Lady
The first
Jane.
one is Zartan, and I think a lot of the characters are drawn almost
where
like
are you?
classically
I
like
can't believe what they're
1960s
saying about
Looney
you on the
Tunes.
news.
But the
Don't.
more,
I
and
need you to
I
get a
always
combat
said this
unit
about
to
the Star Wars
Springfield,
Clone Wars
stat.
too. This animation
explain right
style
now.
is weird
No,
to
you
me
don't.
because everybody's
Start at the
flat.
beginning.
Yeah.
You get
But
used
you're not
to
gonna
it,
believe me.
but their faces
can't
and
talk
everything
now.
are kind of.
Bye,
And I'm
Mom.
not. It's not a criticism. It's a style.
May I
It's just
help
something I had to
you?
get used to.
Sir,
It is a style, and I'm going to touch on that in 1 second. I want to miss the fact that we're meeting Lady J again because she showed up in the first episode, but Lady J is meeting Flint for the first time, which is awesome.
I don't date
And-
This Lady J doesn't have a fancy
aka Duke,
New England accent. She's got
No,
some-
she's got like a Bronx or something,
Yeah.
which is
I
great.
don't owe
Yeah.
nobody
Sounds like she
nothing.
sounds Puerto Rican, which I love.
Going down in a hell of gunfire.
This
That's why you
era
helped me bring him in.
of cartoons for like
Alive.
maybe 2005
Let's move.
till like
Sir,
only
maybe we
recently
should
that I've
send
noticed
the
that it's getting
combat
away from
unit
it
out to Springfield.
because it's all
Don't make me
computer
regret
stuff.
bringing you on board, Sergeant. Duke
The-
would never
the
be stupid enough to go
Character
back there.
models are all
I
kind of
can't
polygon.
believe I let you talk me into going back
Yeah.
there.
Do you know what I'm
You
saying
one
with
who's
that?
determined to
When you
take
say
down
that, I
Cobra?
see it.
Yeah, but I'm
back
not
when-
Yeah.
foolish enough to
So
return to the
it's
scene
not
of the
that we
crime.
don't have any curves or there's no roundness, but that literally
Remind
the
me, why
figure
are we bringing
shapes
the
are
ninja
designed
along?
Because
such
he has a sword and he knows how to use
that
it.
they're like
Attention, citizens. This is
rec-
the last call for
triangular
evacuation.
action
This entire
figures
area
that
must
are
be
consistently
sealed
in
off
motion.
10 minutes.
The DC movies did this a lot,
Corporate scum!
and they all have this
Don't you worry about no
stain,
virus, Mitch.
like
Everything those Cobra weasels say. is
bland,
a lie.
too thin,
What is it, buddy?
modular feel.
Yeah,
I
no,
really
you say
don't
that.
know how to describe it.
I know what
better.
you're saying though. It's almost it's a more advanced version of like PlayStation
Laugh
graphics.
right out of it.
Yes.
That's the way I think of it.
Yes. And I've always felt it had to be because like it's easier to animate because in a 3D modeler you can see the joints moving,
Start the truck!
and so it's easier for them to like do tell a computer what you want to do, and it's not having to deal with curves and what you would normally get if you were hand drawing. But I don't like it. I've never enjoyed it. I think a lot of those mid-2000s DC movies suffered poorly from it. What I think this show does pretty well is while they have that style as an overall design,
Guess he owes you some leeches.
using that
how do
kind
we
of
get in?
painted
12 o'clock.
backdrop on this, I think really makes it pop.
Yeah.
It really sets them in a world of like an artistic world, a more
Now,
beautiful
how do we get
world
Yeah.
than
I'll-
just
I'll-
these ugly hexagonal models.
Yeah, I often think think it's the Great Pumpkin, where they have the painted Charlie Brown.
Oh, yeah.
They have the painted background and they move against it. There are times in the show I get that feeling.
I like
We
this dude
forgot
with
about
his
the
crash
huge
helmet.
monster. Yeah, we've
Turn
got
off
a
that
big
fence.
bio.
I'm telling you,
Yeah, so the Bio Viper
Hey,
is
hallucinations.
he's in this
First
farm
symptom
town.
of the
Think of like a
virus.
cornfield
Should have
Iowa
moose while the
kind of
moosing
town.
was good.
He's on the loose. He is if you remember seeing this, he's a 10-foot gelatinous gooey thing, and in the middle of him there's like a power source or something that's
Bring in the
driving him. Mindbender's trying to get him back so that they can take him, because he's a successful experiment. So he escaped.
Yeah,
And he doesn't want to go. Just leave it at that. He's not a fan.
See? Well, I tried.
And Mindbender doesn't really try very hard.
no.
I do like that.
And I love he calls them all hayseeds and stuff, which at the beginning of the episode, they're in Springfield. And we all famously don't know where
Yeah.
that
What kind
is.
of monster
But the
did you
area code is
Cobra
for
scum
Springfield,
unleash
Missouri.
on our
And I do
town?
think
Let's
later
get
on
one
they
thing
do.
straight. We
make
are
sure-
definitely
I'm
not
from
Cobra.
Missouri.
Who are you?
Springfield,
We're just
yeah, I kind of
ordinary
think are
Joes, sir.
hayseeds,
And
but
we
it's a pretty big
suggest-
town.
You rock!
Sorry to all my Springfield friends.
Right. Well, we should also point out that all the weaponry the Joes use do not look anything like guns or lasers.
No, but they're lasers, right?
They
That's
are
right.
lasers. Sure, and that's cool. But like even the old lasers on the old show look like rifles. These are like blocky, rectangular metal
take a lot more than a sword to
boxes
stop
that happen
that
to shoot
thing.
lasers, which is fine. I'm not, I don't need. That's not entirely accurate. AK-47. Oh, what are you gonna do?
But
No,
we
I don't.
grew up
Mind
though
bender.
where the guns
What's
would
going
have
on
the
out there?
accurate
I
gun
didn't
names
order
on the
anything.
front.
It's the
Yeah,
soldier boys,
that's
the
what we're
ones that
used to.
torched
So
my lab. They're
this era,
alive and
they're like,
kicking.
no, we'll just do random,
Not for long.
weird-looking things, and that's fine too.
What did Mr. McCullen send us?
Now this is the first time we hear about Mr. McCullough.
Uh huh.
I don't think, I don't think Destro
Fuel
said
air
this one.
explosive.
No,
Mars Industries manufactures the
and I
best
we
toys.
did not see him last episode, right?
Aren't we missing a primo
I
opportunity
mean,
here?
the way this show is
heavily
every episode
armed and listed,
introduced as a
strapped
character that
inside
you
an
knew from the
electronic
past, but since this is a
battlefield with
two-parter,
an
I think we're
unstoppable
kind of
force of
like we
Yeah, yeah.
hear
It's
about
gonna be
Mr.
entertainment
McCullough.
at
That's
its
all.
finest.
Right. The only thing I miss about
We
this
do
with
the
this
big
version of
part at the end.
Mindbender, besides the nipples,
Because I hear the
is
commander has a lot riding on the success of
the
his
orthodonture.
Viper program.
Oh,
I hate to tell him.
Yeah, I
Put the
I
kibosh
often
on
forget
the
about that. Like I said, I just got that classified, and it's like he went crazy because of an
Yes.
orthodontist experiment.
yes.
Awesome.
Getting reports
Like,
of a firefight in Springfield.
I wish there would be some
General Abernathy wants
like
to check it
tooth
out. Looks like Duke might be
decay
just
joke
that stupid
or
after all.
braces. Maybe he's wearing braces on his character model or something. I don't know what, but just some nod to him being an orthodontist. I think would have been fantastic.
Change of plan.
There was a plan.
This is where we get into a PSA in the middle of a regular show.
Oh yeah, don't be holding.
Don't hold power lines. So they're all shooting this thing. They're shooting so it's like Jello. So they break it apart and then it forms back together. I guess you can imagine what you're doing. But now Scarlet shoots on a live power ray, which Duke grabs with one hand. I feel like Roadblock's right there. Roadblock was the one who did the PSA.
Yeah, he is. He's like, hey, no, the kids are
Yeah, didn't you see my PSA? I told you that's dangerous. But then they never even really use it because they just
You
back
alright?
him into the fence. So Duke's like, I made myself sterile
Wait!
for nothing.
Mitchell, no!
But he backs into an electrified fence and he kind of goos everywhere. And we see what the goo actually does. It's hitting the corn and it's withering the corn. So it sucks like the life force out of organic matter, which humans would be one of them. And then the kid steps into a pile
Not
of
much in
goo.
the way of evidence, but it's a start.
So he's going to
Have you
come
seen
back
my
for the
son?
third act. Or fourth act, or whatever act it is. The finale of this show. This dog looks remarkably like Junkyard.
Oh yeah, I didn't never even until you said that.
Remarkably. I don't know if Mutt shows up in this.
I can't remember. I don't know.
Yeah. If not, then spiritually, this is them giving us Junkyard because he looks just
We
like
can't shoot
Junkyard.
at it. We have to find another weakness.
Haven't you been paying attention? That grizzly don't.
She's
do
holding that
weakness.
bag of blue goo like it's Breaking Bad crystal meth.
Yeah. But I do love this, that
Not
Tunnel Rat
grizzly.
tastes it.
More like
Disgusting.
spud.
Yeah.
This is plant material.
And
I
he
already
realizes
told you,
it's like
I spend a
potato.
lot
He
of
likes
time in the
dirt. This is perfect, and it's using character traits.
See how
You
it
know,
Yeah.
sucks out the
No, it
nutrients?
does.
Solve the
That's how he
problem.
does
So
it.
why
Yeah.
ain't it done that to my son?
makes total
Yeah,
sense.
maybe it ain't that hungry. Yet. Point is, we found a weakness.
So all we need is a boatload of weed killer.
And where do you
So-
expect to find that?
We're on a farm, city girl.
It's a fun line, like where do you expect to find that? It's Farm City
Yeah.
Girl, but like this girl is not a dummy.
No, I mean, he's a.
As soon as they like, I'm watching
officer.
this. As soon as they said weed killer, I
Fire
went,
in
oh great,
position.
they're on a farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. All good.
Duke in
Plus,
position.
They had to
they
fill
probably
up
watched
a
their
minute.
old episode where they used defoliant to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Tunnel rat in position.
I mean, it's part
That's
of
right, I
canon,
said tunnel
part of the
rat.
gospel.
Totally.
Let's go.
Like, hold on a second, let me check YouTube, see what we did 30 years ago. So this kid is being held in the center of this giant creature. So where previously we were talking about there was that like little control box, that's where the kid is now. The control box seemingly gone. Roblox jumps on, defoliates it. So just a total nitpicky thing.
Report
Then
back to
once
me
the kid
immediately.
gets out, which they
Yeah,
just
no
pulled the kid
can
out of it
do.
and saved him, which
Once
is
a
awesome.
Criminal,
Tell Uncle Sam
How
I
is
said
it
howdy do.
Still operating.
still operating? Yes, because I thought that little control box was the operating system, and then the kid would have been the operating system. So it doesn't make sense to me that it's still operating.
In a few years, I know they go through more and more stuff with Bio Viper, but I don't know if they ever explain.
Yeah, it's nitpick.
Your
It's
general
not
assured me
important,
there would be
you know,
no
by any
military
stretch.
interference.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
the
But seeing as how you aren't wearing a
bah.
gas mask, I
Flint
assume
and
that the
Jay
virus
just
is
pulled
all
up
cleaned
in
up,
like a
and
modified
you can shut
vamp,
down
which
the
is great.
fence.
He's dressing down the Baroness, saying, "I don't trust you, your jurisdiction, and nothing. I'm here to get these renegade troopers." And then the Joes are shooting the defoliant at the rest of the remainder of the Bioviper.
But they're all working as a team. One person
Yeah.
does this one, and
It's awesome.
it's class. Yeah.
Scarlet dropped the container of it right in the middle of the goo, and
Time's
then
up.
Duke
Shut
blew it
that
up.
fence down now, or I will
Very
tear it to shreds.
Jaws. Didn't he make a Jaws reference?
Did they?
Oh, I thought maybe I'm
bad.
No,
imagining
I
that.
don't know.
But yeah, it shoots it very much
Jaws.
like Jaws, like gets the container in the
Yo,
mouth
you are
and
alive.
blows it up.
I don't think
Yo,
they
you
called
a
him a
mess
son
of
of a
weed
bitch.
killer.
let's call it even.
That'd be
You got
cool.
guts, Lieutenant, for a spy.
Call me Scarlet.
Oh, and she
Grunt.
accepts her nickname of Scarlet.
Which
I like that she called him Grunt.
O'Hara. So I would found it funny that it's Scarlet O'Hara.
Hands where we can
Oh,
see
yeah.
them. The rest of you,
I always
stand
spell
back.
because it's two T's. Our Scarlet is two T's.
Oh, is it? I think I probably
I
spelled
think
it
so,
wrong.
yeah.
No.
But then just Scarlet
State
is just one T.
championships. 10 seconds
Like the
on
word.
the clock. Inches from the end zone and trailing by
And here we
6.
learn that
Center
Flint
snaps the
and
ball,
Duke have
and what
history.
happens, Duke?
Right, high school football.
Oh, and none of them.
sack.
Where's Captain Gridiron when you,
You
need
know
him?
him?
Yeah.
So,
If there's
I'm
ever
guessing
gonna
the
if we're gonna
situation
shoot as
feels
Captain
a little
Gridiron.
familiar. Why'd you do it, Duke?
This is your in.
Somebody pay you to blow up that plant?
I think
It's a
something
long
I'll say
story,
about the
Flint.
show is it
Well, I
definitely
feel like
kind of,
guaranteed
I
the
think,
whole
stopped around the
thing.
85, 86 line of figures.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
No crystal ball, sorry.
Scoop ain't showing up. Skid Mark not making his G.I. Joe Renegades debut.
Right.
Lady J helps him out. She tosses him the keys to the van. They steal it. Awesome. It is a really great design on that Jeep too, because it's like a modified. It's got cop lights on top.
Where's
really
my
cool.
Jeep?
Next time, sir, I suggest you not leave your keys in the ignition.
That's funny. Lady J just lying to her future husband.
Yeah.
How dare you? And they don't trust her.
So where to now?
They don't
Duke?
trust
Anywhere
Baronesses.
we
They're
can stay
driving
one
past
step ahead
Baroness
of
right now.
Flint.
So
And
they,
make life
when he
miserable for
salutes,
Cobra.
that's like cartoon version of flipping off.
Yes, it is.
Unfortunately,
Here's where we
lost
get our
the
big
Bio
reveal
Viper
because you
from
didn't
the
get this
Yeah.
last time.
but the virus cover will hold.
Good.
then Cobra Industries will be spared further scrutiny.
So she's talking to a normal-looking dude in a tie with a
The
face.
small matter of the renegade soldiers.
Tie and a face. That's all you need. Really.
Matters have a way of
And he
unraveling
stands up.
into loose ends. You know how I feel about
And
loose
here we
ends.
go. It's all a hologram. The camera goes to his side of the camera, and it's really Cobra Commander.
Who's
It's
got
very-
a half silver mask on.
Yes, very G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra style.
Yes.
Cobra Commander, like, you know, not at his best.
No. No. And I do, and I've always been a big Cobra Commander fan. I do think that Cobra Commander is pretty menacing, which is a little bit different. Like, the old, what was it? Was it Resolute or whatever, where he says that he wanted his troops to stand up. That's why he would retreat all the time. I think I can't remember, but I do think this Cobra Commander is good. I like him. I like him.
Yeah. I like them when they make Cobra Commander a little more proactive, a little tougher. I like a lot. I love what they're doing in the Energon universe. That's great. It's just his look. It's like you're.
I don't know why you messed it up. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. It's almost it's too good.
Mhm.
We've talked about what other character was there. I think it was Blowtorch, or maybe it was Dusty. We were talking about where like that first character is perfect.
Yes.
You don't need a better version of this. So when you do other versions of it, it's never going to be as good, but you want to do other versions of it because you want multiple versions of Cobra Commander. So you experiment, you play around, and you find what works and what doesn't. And when it doesn't, it makes you appreciate the original more. So I understand it and totally get it, but I don't love this version visually.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into the Energon stuff yet. I did read the Cobra Commander miniseries though, which bonkers. I mean, I liked it. I liked it a lot, but absolutely bonkers.
I like it a lot. I love that they're bringing in Cobra La. Like it's a absolute part of the mythos that's been ignored forever. So why not? And you have to differentiate it from what Larry's doing over in Real American Heroes. So go for it. Like hit the gas and let's bring in Transformers and robots and space aliens and the space stuff is a kind of a big part of the G.I. Joe history.
Yeah.
Like between Cobra La and then the last 2 years of the original line, they were in space.
Oh yeah, but
you know where they well technically with the Defiant it's more than that. But when they started doing the Space Corps and having aliens show up as action figures, that's a lot of the time of the original show or the original.
You can find a way to incorporate it to make it interesting. I mean, I still think to the old cartoon, they had the episode where they retrofitted the Sky Strikers with rockets and they went to space to fight the Zartan and the Dreadnoughts, and it's like, hey, it's cool. You might as well do it.
Right. It doesn't need to be. If you want more realistic, that is what Larry's is doing and always has done. So I enjoy that, and I do. But I love me crazy.
Yeah,
love me some crazy. I love me some Ryan Kulik. Thank you so much for coming on today.
No, Joe is great. It's great to reconnect, but it's great to be remembered of this show. And now I look forward to hearing you and your guests every week, finding the things that I completely missed the first time around.
Yeah, this is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It's a really ton of fun in revisiting this, or visiting this for me. I've seen a few of these, purposely have not watched all of them. So it's all new discovery. And I like seeing the connective tissues to the stuff we love. I feel you said this, that's those creators showing that they love the original stuff. And when you pay attention and see that, I think it's super rewarding.
People quite hit that.
Oh no.
And
those movie people weren't paying attention.
No.
We're talking about this cartoon. Like that's a whole nother kettle of fish.
Yes. But no, thanks again, Joe.
Awesome, Ryan.
I appreciate
Thank you so much. Brother Brimstone.
Mm-hmm.
Listeners, make sure you go listen to the First Watch Rewatch podcast. Tell them Joe and Joe sent you. Say hello. If you're in the Cincinnati area, track down Ryan.
I'm a man about town.
He's a man about town. He's out there doing stuff. And Thank you so much for listening. Come on back next week or next time. I'm not sure if it'll be next week, but next time for episode 3. And if you want to be a guest, absolutely ping me. joeonjoepod@gmail.com. Find me at any of the socials and we'll set this up. It'll be a lot of fun. Awesome. Ryan, thanks again.
My
and now
pleasure.
you, Joe, and Joeing is half the battle.